Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking skincare dupes. Part 4. It's been a minute since I've done another episode in my dupes series. You've been loving it so much. So I'm excited to bring you another episode today where we're going to talk about the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Toner. And we're also going to talk about the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Eye Rescue Cream. I've got some great affordable options for you. I've got some products that I think perform even better, and I'm really excited to share with you all of my dupes. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right in. So first up, the expensive. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. This retails $34 for 150 milliliter of toner. Now really the star ingredients here are the exfoliants, the PHA and the BHA. So first up is PHA. Now this is a new generation version of AHA like glycolic acid and lactic acid. It is actually a lot more gentle than AHAs are, but it has a lot of similar benefits. It helps to rejuvenate and refresh the top of your skin. It helps to shed away all the dead skin cells, revealing like newer, brighter, fresher, smoother looking skin. Now the BHA is coming from two different forms. First we have betaine salicylate, which is a cousin to salicylic acid. But again, the name of the game here is gentle. This is something that you are able to use every single day, and so they are opting for the gentler versions of these ingredients. So we do have betaine salicylate, which does help to gently clear out the dead skin cells and the gunk that can get stuck inside of the pores. It is oil soluble and it's about 2 times gentler than salicylic acid. Then they're also using willow bark extract, which is a form of salicylate. It's a natural salicylate that has those similar benefits, kind of help clarify the skin, kind of help with skin texture and congestion. But again, we're talking so much gentler to the skin than salicylic acid is. They are also using some sugarcane extract, and I always like to see this, especially in toner products, because not only is it a hydrating ingredient, it's another ingredient that has an extremely gentle skin clarifying effect. It can just really help to encourage the dead skin cells to shed away a little bit more quickly. So let me tell you about the texture and my experience using this product. The texture surprised me because when I first got it out of the bottle, I thought it was going to be quite plumping. It had a little bit of body to it and actually even had almost like a syrupy kind of effect. You know when you pour syrup and there's that little bit of a tail, right, because of viscosity and everything? This had that kind of effect, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be kind of plumping. It's going to have a lot of body. It's going to be kind of thick, right? Thick in a good way. And I was surprised that it actually, the way it looked out of the bottle and then the way it felt as I got it onto my skin was different. It actually felt a little bit lighter on the skin than I was expecting. There's a good amount of hydration. I don't know that I would say it's the most deeply hydrating toner I've ever used. And you know I love toners and I have a very high bar for hydration. And this was fine. It was average to me, but it didn't blow my mind hydration wise. The little bit of plumpness, you can kind of feel it. It kind of feels juicy on the skin, but again, it's not like mind-blowingly juicy and thick and plumping and bouncy. And it didn't really give me that sensation. It just kind of hinted towards that, and I was okay with that. I was like, this is nice. This is solid. Not mind-blowing, but solid. And what was really strange is that there's actually like a little hint of moisture to this. I was not expecting, and it almost was like a kiss of like a rich oil kind of feel. Now, don't get me wrong here. It's not oily. It's not heavy. I am just talking about a very slight sensation as it is absorbing into the skin. You get that hydration effect first. And as it's sinking into your skin, you're going to feel a little light moisture, a little kiss of richness. Now, generally, my opinion of this is pretty good. Like I said, it didn't blow my mind. It's not my favorite toner. It's not even like my middle of the pack favorite toner. No, but that doesn't mean that I don't like this product or that I don't Like if you're using it, like keep using it and loving it if it absolutely suits your skin. For me, it wasn't super impressive, but there's nothing here that I'm very critical about, honestly. Oftentimes in dupes videos, I am talking about products I am critical of. Either they're using like questionable ingredients, they have weird claims, or I just don't think that they're living up to like their prices or their claims. I don't feel that way about this product at all. I'm pretty neutral to it. I think that it is a very fun experience. And I talk a lot about fragrance-free skincare. I talk a lot about affordable skincare. And so I don't always highlight that experience that you can get. Certainly on the affordable side, certainly on the gentle and fragrance-free side, but sometimes in this middle, range of price, $34, kind of in the middle, right? There is an experience that you're kind of paying for with Glow Recipe. The experience of the packaging, which I think is very uplifting. I love all the colors that they use. I love when I see Glow Recipe like in my cabinet, it makes me smile. It's just a very dopamine skincare, if you will, just to look at it. So the experience, the glass bottle, it's a little bit different, a little irregular. It's absolutely beautiful aesthetics. The smell, the fragrance here. So we have plant extracts and some artificial fragrance in here, creating that watermelon smell. So I have no problems with this. I think it's nice. I think the ingredients check out. I think they're solid. I do think we're slightly obsessed with pores in this like era of skincare, to the point that I think people want to erase their pores. That's like a whole different conversation. Like it's absolutely human to have texture and to have pores, and everybody's pores are visible to some extent. But I do think that the ingredients in here can help to clean out the pores and help to rejuvenate with that PHA, just kind of help rejuvenate and smooth the surface of the skin. But, it really comes down to those ingredients if you want to see those results. If you're not really ready or willing to spend $34, packaging and experience aren't as important to you, I have some alternatives. So my affordable option is the Cosrx AHA+BHA Vitamin C Daily Toner. The full retail is $22 for 150 milliliter of toner. Now I just want to mention the full retail is $22, but often if you're shopping with kbeauty, like discount retailer Style Vana, Style Korean, Yes Style, you'll say you can definitely get this for a lot less than that. So I know it doesn't sound like quite like a $12 difference from Glow Recipe. You can actually probably get this for even less than that. And this is a really great example of taking those active ingredients that can help to clear out your pores, putting it into a fragrance-free version if that's, something that's important to you, just focusing in on those ingredients, but still delivering the results. And so this has a really similar makeup here. So we have the AHA element. This time it is actually coming from a little bit of glycolic acid. So while I love PHA, it is so gentle. You cannot deny that glycolic acid is like the number one AHA. It is probably the most effective. It's giving you a lot of bang for your buck. It's a really great ingredient. Now in the AHA family, they're also using 16% of apple extract, which has some natural AHA benefits to it, some natural ability to help to shed the dead skin cells from the top of the skin. This very much like Glow Recipe kind of has like a fruit element to it, but they are kind of backing it up with some of that pore clarifying benefit. Now on the BHA side, we have betaine salicylate, which we've already covered. It's a cousin to salicylic acid, about 2 times gentler, but it can get inside of that pore. And then they're also using 17% of willow bark extract, which is again exactly the makeup of the BHA formula in the Glow Recipe toner. The only thing that's different here is the addition of vitamin C. They're using ascorbyl glucoside, which is a derivative of vitamin C. So we get a little kiss of brightening with this toner as well. And this is really that pure watery type of toner. It's a nice kiss of hydration. It's not a deep hydrating toner. This is really kind of more on the side of an exfoliating toner. So it does have a little bit of a thinner feel on the skin, which makes it incredibly light and really quick to absorb, which is a little bit of hydration. You're not going to get that deep drink of water, but I would say Glow Recipe doesn't offer it either. But it is much lighter with no moisture, no hints of oil or reminiscence of oil or anything like that. There's no moisture here whatsoever. It's just pure watery toner that absorbs quickly quickly into the skin. So you can see where my thinking lies on this, right? I mean, the ingredients and the point of view here is so incredibly similar. This is absolutely going to give you those benefits of getting inside of the pore, getting on top of the skin, and helping to smooth everything out and help to reduce texture over time. I think both of these toners are really, really great, but like where we're at today with this economy, we're all feeling that tightness, right, on our wallets. And so you may be wanting to look for some more affordable products. And that's really, this segment is really about that. Both products I think are good. I think if you're using Glow Recipe and loving it and it works for you and your budget, keep using it. That's not the point of this segment. The point of this segment is just to offer you some similar ingredients, similar benefits, but at a little bit of a lesser price point to help save you some money if you need to. Next up, the expensive Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Eye Cream with Retinol, which retails $65 for 15 milliliter of product. Now, let me tell you, with Glow Recipe, I was really trying to emphasize, like, there's nothing wrong with this product. Like, I'm not going to call this out for anything. I think it's a nice product, right? This one's a little bit different. This may be the tea that you came here for. I'm here to deliver. I feel very split about this, and it's quite a trip to investigate this product, truly. I've had it for quite a while, and I've used it on and off, and it's fine. It's not like the best performing eye cream, I'm going to say that up front, but it's kind of a nice product to use. It has some great benefits outside of like an eye cream that I want to talk to you about. But I have to say, using it and kind of enjoying it is one thing. Investigating the ingredients and like the marketing claims of this is another. And I think that's really where I have some issues. So first and foremost, this product is called Charlotte's Magic Eye Rescue Cream. But I've found recently they've been adding with retinol to the marketing. It's not really printed on the jar at all or on the box. My jar is a little bit older, so maybe that has changed, but the formula hasn't changed from what I have to what is currently available. But what has changed is the addition of the word retinol. There's always been retinol in this product, but they never really pushed it, but they're pushing it now. And I find that interesting because as I mentioned if you caught my video at the beginning of 2023, where I talked about my skincare trends and the predictions for the coming year, retinol, this is not a trend in skincare, right? But retinol has been gaining so much popularity in the last couple of years. And now retinol is in like freaking everything. Have you noticed that? Body creams, body washes, face washes, retinol creams, retinol eye creams, retinol sticks, retinol everything, right? And so I think they're really capitalizing on that. They're like, well, hey, we already have a product with retinol. Why don't we just make it more obvious? There's nothing wrong with that, but I do think it's interesting because the retinol, I don't think plays a really big role in this product. It does feel almost like an afterthought it being thrown in here. It's not like a very strong retinol. They're not disclosing the percentage. You can only tell so much from ingredients lists. I don't want to fall too far into those traps. Like, well, it's placed here on the ingredients list instead of here, but you can actually see that it is like one of the very last ingredients, which is a very good indication that they're using a very, 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 very small amount of retinol. They're also using retinol, but they're also using retinol palmitate, which is like one of the very worst forms of retinoids that you could possibly use in skincare. It just really has not shown itself to be effective. As far as over-the-counter options for retinoids, retinol and retinaldehyde are really the best. That's really what you want to look for if you're serious about adding retinol into your routine. Retinol palmitate, I would really suggest avoiding that if the product's only using that ingredient. It's just, like I said, it just hasn't shown itself to be effective. It has to go through a really lengthy conversion process on the skin, and it just really hasn't demonstrated the effects or the benefits on the skin like retinol and retinaldehyde. It's just not very effective. I will also mention that they're using a couple different forms of vitamin C. They're using ascorbic acid and ascorbyl tetraisopalmitate, which is a stabilized form of vitamin C, and then ascorbic acid, the pure form. I really like vitamin C in eye creams, especially if you do have dark circles. It can be beneficial. And this cream does contain iron oxides. And this is really, I think, where I'm like, this is kind of a trippy kind of product to investigate, because iron oxides, they're used primarily in makeup products because they do impart pigment, like a flesh toned pigment, and they can help to conceal, and they can help to kind of like bounce light. They're They're also actually used in sunscreens to help to bounce light. They can help to stabilize the UV and kind of help bounce off some visible light in sunscreens. So it actually has multiple uses, but here they are using iron oxides for like that makeup, like that tint, that benefit. The cream itself does have a little bit of a flesh toned tint to it. It's not like a white or a clear cream. And that is really where my opinion and my personal take on this product lies. This feels more like a makeup product than it feels like a true eye cream. And I am saying that from the experience of using this product. I'm not saying this from just like analyzing an ingredients list. Again, you can only tell so much by doing that. But the iron oxides create a type of cream in here that has a little bit of that flesh tone. So if you do have dark circles, you're gonna notice that they look just a little bit better. This isn't applying like a foundation or a concealer, but it just has a little bit of like the ability to even out your skin tone. And it is a very sheer tint, so I do think this is going to work on a majority of skin types. It doesn't have a ton of pigment, but I think it is just enough that it can help to just kind of like, whoop, all of a sudden I just look a little bit smoother, a little bit more even, maybe a little bit more awake, because maybe some of the darkness and the shadow right under the eye is gone. And that's why I've kept this cream around, because I don't think it's a very good eye cream, but I do think it's a really nice enhancing type of product. I do kind of like this for makeup prep. I like this when I'm wearing bare face, no base makeup, but I'll use a little bit of this just to kind of perk up the eye area. So my take, I think it's pretty clear here. I like the effect that it brings to my skin. I think that it can be very, very helpful, but this is something that I kind of keep on the makeup side of my bathroom instead of the skincare side. I don't think it's a really great performing eye cream. And I think if you're into kind of more of a makeup prep, maybe something you can use without foundation just to kind of enhance your eyes, or maybe you just have really bad dark circles and you don't really care that this is just bouncing light and kind of lightly concealing the darkness in your eye area. You just need that effect. You can really dupe and achieve that particular benefit of this cream in a lot of other products, and I've got two alternatives for you that cost a lot less than $65. The first affordable is La Roche-Posay Pigmentclar Eye Cream for Dark Circles. This is still pricey, I will admit, at $45 for 15 milliliter of product, but you're saving about 20 bucks already, right? Now, I wanted to talk about this because I think that this has similar benefits, but I like the formulation here a little bit better on the eye cream side of things. We have niacinamide and caffeine. Now, niacinamide, definitely a great brightening ingredient. Caffeine is a really nice one in eye creams because it can also address dark circles, but it's also something that can address puffy eyes. This is also using some vitamin C. They are using ascorbyl glucoside, and they have married it with ferulic acid. Now, you're a skincare head, so I'm sure you already know that vitamin C plays super well with another potent antioxidant, ferulic acid. They actually work synergistically. Now, there's another interesting novel ingredient in here that the studies are really split on as far as like how beneficial it actually is. I am always for the use of novel ingredients, even if like we're not sure how good it is, because I think it's always fun to experiment and see what's out there, right? So they're using an ingredient that goes by the trade name Sim White. And the claims here from the manufacturer, take it with a grain of salt, are that it has benefits similar to kojic acid. Now, kojic acid is a really great brightening ingredient, particularly helpful for really stubborn hyperpigmentation, melasma, sun damage. So if you've really dark under eye circles, this could be worth trying out, especially for this novel ingredient. Like I said, we're not really sure. Some studies say it's great. Some studies say not really much of a change, but it could be really worth experimenting with if you're really trying to address dark circles. They are using the iron oxides, and there is a little bit of mica in here, which gives some of that light reflecting quality. It's not sparkly, trust me. And the texture itself, it's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. I think it's a little less emollient. I think Charlotte Tilbury has a touch of richness to it that this doesn't, but it's still moisturizing, but in a thin layer that quickly absorbs, that doesn't feel greasy or it's going to settle into any lines. I think it's going to work really, really beautifully, but it just gives such a beautiful like enhancement to your bare skin. And I do want to mention another affordable. This is the First Aid Beauty Brighten and Glow Eye Cream with Niacinamide. This retails $36 for 15 15 milliliter of product. Yeah, we're going down in price. Now the formulation here is really similar to the other two products that we've talked about, niacinamide and caffeine. Awesome. We also do have some licorice root extract in here, which is a really nice brightening agent. It can help with darkness around the eye area. So I like to see that in here. And there is vitamin C in here as well. They're using ascorbyl phosphate. So this cream does use iron oxides and mica. They are using a lot of the red iron oxides. And so you're going to get a little bit of a deeper flesh tone with this. I think if you're extremely pale, this is probably not going to look great on you. It might get a little orangey. So the texture here, it's creamy but very light. Again, like these other products, they pack some moisture in a really light layer. I would say that this is the lightest on moisture between the three, but all three have a very thin application that I think feels really nice. So, you know, this eye cream, it is still $36 for night cream, I think is still kind of pricey. It's a little bit more approachable, I think, than $65, but you're still spending a pretty penny for something like this. I want you to just kind of be aware that this is a little bit more something that is going to kind of like instantly help with dark circles, instantly help to even things out. The results for this one, this is the one I've been using for the shortest period of time, so I'm just going to be honest, benefits wise, I'm not really sure what this can do meaningfully to the skin over time. But I know when you have dark circles and when everyone's like, why do you look so tired? I'm like, I'm not, it's just my genetics, right? When you're like at that point, you're looking for anything, right? If you don't want to turn to makeup, or maybe you want something to enhance your makeup so you don't have to wear as much concealer. This is, I think this really stands out because of how they've used the pigment in this. I think you can really combat very dark under eye circles. So have you tried any of the products that I talked about today? I'm curious to know your thoughts. And I'm also curious, what do you want to see on Dupes episode 5? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you enjoyed this video, maybe it helps you out, maybe it saved you some money. Hey, I would be so honored if you would hit subscribe and come join our community if you haven't already, especially if you love to save some money on skincare, especially if you love to deep dive into ingredients. That's what my channel is all about. And don't forget to turn on notifications too, so you're never out of the loop. I post full-length videos, shorts, and I do have a skincare video podcast as well. I'm very active here on YouTube every single week, so turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe wherever you are in the world. Thanks for being here with me today. I love you so much. Thank you for all of your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. I'll talk to you soon.